name is Dominique Hunt, and I am going to be interviewing my cousin Robin today about her African American experience during the time of Martin Luther King's assassination, also in segregation and racism in Baltimore. Um, this is my cousin Robin, and I just wanted to start by saying thank you for letting me interview you today.
You're welcome.
This is an assignment, oral assignment for my African American Studies course. So I have 7 questions that I'm going to ask you today. And the first one is, what did you feel like, or what were you thinking once you heard that Martin Luther King had been shot at the young age that you were?
It was very hard because I couldn't understand why anybody would want to kill a person that was trying to help Americans. So I cried a little. I think everybody in the world cried that day, because it was it was worthless that he would that somebody would kill somebody that was trying to help the people.
Okay. Next question. How do you think the aftermath was in the black community? Did you see much of a change? Or was it rioting, or what was it like?
Horrible.
It was.
It was horrible. It was 1968.
Mm-hmm.
We got put on the curfew.
Mm-hmm.
If you were under 16, you had to be in the house a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
16 to 18, a little bit later. Over 21, you could stay out past 11. The people in the neighborhood just commenced to just tearing up businesses. I mean, Pratt Street was a disaster. The corner stores, they broke into them, which I kind of did not understand. Why would you destroy the community that you live in? But still being little, I kind of tried to look at, well, people were angry.
Mm-hmm.
But that, what happened caused their anger, which also caused controversy in the neighborhood. When I say that, I mean your corner stores got looted. They got robbed. Those people didn't deserve that because they didn't do anything to us, or to African Americans. They were in the neighborhood, and the majority of them were Jewish. They had stores in our area, and they were very friendly. They helped out the seniors in the neighborhood that worked every day, like your great-grandparents, giving them credit till they got paid, and they let the little black people work, African American people work in the store, and, make money.
Oh, get your salad.
Oh, you can't see it.
The cat was.
So, that happened, and I'm trying to remember who was president in 68, because it wasn't Kennedy, because he got assassinated in 63.
Mm-hmm.
But the president at that time declared a state of an emergency. The National Guard were called in. When I say they were on every corner, they were on every corner. And if you were out past curfew, you got arrested, regardless of your age, So that was, I would never want to replay that part of my life again ever.
Okay. And around that time period, what did your parents look like? Like, what were they sad? Did they feel like the country was at a loss? What do you think?
Well,
even though you were younger, but what did you feel?
What I hear,
Mm-hmm.
I heard a bunch of cussing.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a bunch of fussing.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a bunch of, I think it was just out of anger that, they wanted to retaliate against Caucasians because it was a Caucasian man that killed Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, the house was, it was an uproar, And it lasted for some months,
Mm-hmm.
The looting and the National Guard and everything. And then all, things started calming down, that the world became back to what it was.
Okay. What was it like during that time for a black person in Baltimore? Like walking through the street, your personal experience with white people, maybe?
Ooh. That one was nasty. Because as far as I was concerned, everybody was everybody. Everybody was the same person. I mean, not the same person, but people in general. And that's when I realized that Caucasians are brainwashed by their parents. They're not. They don't come into the world with racism. None of us do. It's something you learn in your household. And back in those days, most Caucasian adults didn't like African American people in general. So, prime example, I lived on Holland Street, and Frederick Avenue was one of our main arteries. We had a shopping center. That's the only place we were allowed to go. If you crossed Frederick Avenue, which was heading south, you could not step foot in the 400 or 500 block of those streets because you were subject to a fight. We were called the N word by the Caucasian people. We got into fights. We had a community swimming pool that was supposed to be a community swimming pool, but it was only for the Caucasian children. We weren't allowed to go to the recreational center. We couldn't go to the swimming pool. So it was like funky. So anytime I had to travel that way, it was always like 3 or 4 of us because you were bound to get into a fight. So you better take some protection with you.
Okay. And what school did you go to? You mentioned that you were in a predominantly black school, and then you ended up going to one that was more so segregated.
Yes, that was in 1971. Before that, I was going to Gwynns Falls Park Junior High on Hilton Street, which is School 91. That was predominantly African American, but of course, you know, we had Caucasian teachers. And then when I got to the 8th grade, I kind of flunked. So I had to repeat the 8th grade. But that's when Southwestern opened up in 1971. And that was a desegregated school where African Americans and Caucasian people went together. And pretty much we all got along. I mean, other than the typical fight because somebody pissed you off, but you know, not because of people calling you, excuse me, what I'm about to say, the nigger word, or you know, calling you the other people white trash, which so we pretty much got along. I was on the swim team, which was predominantly Caucasian. I was on the softball team, which was predominantly African American, and I was in a dance club, which was half and half. So I pretty much try to get along with anybody because I don't like trouble. I just like peace. You know, trouble is easy to get into and hard to get out, and that's what these kids today don't understand. Even the newfound parents. You know, I have nothing against people having babies. They can have all the babies they want. It's just how you raise them. The teenagers now are raised nothing like when I was coming up. When I was coming up, you respected elderly. You went to the store for the elderly. You did their steps on Saturdays because we all had to get outside on Saturdays with scrub buckets and Ajax or Common and clean everybody's steps, you know. And you didn't disrespect the older people because if you did, you got in trouble by them, which was a butt whipping. And you got a butt whipping by your parent. And if your grandparents were around, you got a butt whipping by them too. So you got a butt whipping by everybody.
Yeah.
But it made us, when I say us, I mean the people in their 60s going into their 70s. I think better people compared to that. Because these youngsters, and that's all I'm going to call them, these youngsters, they have no respect. You know, no respect. They don't respect their parents. They don't respect outside people. I hope they respect their own selves, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.